Alright. Ready? Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Good afternoon. Maybe it's good morning in Iran. Thank you very much for attending.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Maybe it's
Good
morning
morning,
also.
Professor.
Good morning, Tandis. Good morning, Brother Muhammad as well. I think in Qatar it's probably morning as well. Maybe. Yeah. So thank you very much for attending this special event, I guess, yeah, event, because today we are doing something special. We have our PhD candidate who has submitted her work successfully. So now two examiners have already reviewed her PhD. We're waiting for the third one, waiting for the external, and then she would have a viva arranged. But I also got another piece of good news today that the examiners for Muzakir have all examined his work, so waiting for a date to be arranged. Although Iko submitted yours first,
Yes.
Muzakir will get his viva first before you. So it depends on the examiners. Well, they're discussing now, right? So, the other thing we would like to do in today's event is that we will deliberate on the whole thesis, but with a special focus on the qualitative research, special focus on the methodology, Iko, yeah. So. There will be several parts to our discussion today. There'll be maybe part one, part two, maybe part three. Yeah, and if there's a need, we will do a part four. So there'll be breaks in between. Our Chief Technology Officer, Raji Haraki, is opposite of me right now. He's managing the technology behind the system here. So he will help us to stream this to YouTube as well. Yeah. So we will begin the session today, and Iko will be presenting her thesis, basically her entire thesis, Iko. Yeah. Yeah. And then I'll be interjecting. I'll be moderating and. Oh, well, I'm not moderating. I'll be moderating, reviewing, interjecting, adding, commenting at the same time. Yeah. So the floor is yours, Iko. Go ahead, start the presentation.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Okay.
Can my voice hear me? It's clear. Hi, my colleagues. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Yeah, hi Tandis, how are you? Muhammad and all our colleagues. Today I have opportunity. It's an honor for me to present about my research, which is Prof. Rifani, which is our advisor. Give me opportunity for me to present my methodology, which is abductive research methodology. I want to share my screen first. Can you see this share? This screen? Okay, this just for a moment. Okay, my research is about Halalan Tayyiban Food Law, social constructs of faith-based communities, which is this research I use the case study of Banten, which is Banten is one of the province in Indonesia that It has halal valley, the large halal valley in Indonesia with 500 hectares. Actually, my research is about how the respondents of the faith-based communities divine about the Halalam Toibut food law based on social constructs. It's not the theological study, but it's the sociological study. The research method that I use is the abductive research method. In this case, I want to explain first about the research method. According to Blakey, there are 4 revised research strategies to answer research questions. The first is inductive, which is aimed to establish descriptions of characteristics and patterns. Its ontology is cautious, depth of subrealist, while its epistemology is conventionalism. This strategy begins by collecting data on characteristics and or patterns, followed by producing descriptions and relate them to the research question. The second one is deductive, which aims to test theories, eliminate false ones, and corroborate the survivor. Its ontology is cautious or subrealist, whereas its epistemology is conventionalism and falsificationism. It starts with identifying a regularity to be explained, followed by constructing a theory and deducing a hypothesis. The last step is testing the hypothesis by matching them with the data. The third one is retroductive, which aims to discover underlying mechanism to explain observed regularities. Its ontology is depth or subrealist, while its epistemology is modified neorealism. Starting with documenting and modeling a regularity to describe the context and possible mechanism, and after that, establishing the mechanisms that provide the best explanation in that context. Finally, the fourth one is abductive. This one I use for my research, which aims to describe and understand social life in terms of social actors' motives and understanding. Its ontology is idealist or subrealist, whereas its epistemology is constructionism, starting by discovering everyday lay concepts, meanings, and motives to produce a technical account from lay effects, followed by developing a theory and elaborating it iteratively to produce the result. Based on the Blakey, he said that we shall examine 3 of major natural science research strategies: the inductive, deductive, and retroductive. They have been advocates for the use of each of these 3 natural science research strategies in the social science. However, in addition to them, there is a fourth one that is appropriate only in the social science: the abductive research strategy. According to Ricci and Lewis et al., qualitative research is a broad domain that is found in various scientific disciplines covered by various methods and approaches. The questions of what and why are more likely to be used as a qualitative research identification compared to the question of how. Another identification of qualitative research is a specific data generation method approach, such as observation, semi-structured, and in-depth interview. In this case, I use in-depth interview, as well as focus group discussion. Good knowledge based on the bottom-up process, with inductive strategy research using evidence where the knowledge and theory are built from it. Another one is based on the top-down process using deductive strategy research, in which the first hypothesis is developed and then derived logically. Meanwhile, confirmation or rejection is based on the evidence gathered. Blakey illustrates the complexity of this field by introducing two other research strategies, namely retroductive and abductive. I jump to abduction, based on Blakey. Abductive, as Blakey stated, that a strategy that is implicit in several research paradigms has been advocated as either the only suitable one for the social sciences or as an essential adjunct to other research strategies. Abduction characterizes those research paradigms concerned with deriving expert accounts of social life from the everyday accounts that social actors can provide. Since much social life is routine and habitual and takes place in a reflective, taken for granted manner, the account of social actors do not usually reveal the largely tacit meanings that underpin their interactions. It is therefore necessary for the social scientists to piece together the fragments of meanings that can be gleaned from this account. This is hermeneutic process of trying to grasp the unknown whole from the known parts. It is from the process of moving from lay descriptions of social life to technical descriptions of that social life that the notion of abduction is applied. This study utilized abductive research strategy and qualitative data analysis method to answer the research questions. My research question, there are 4 research questions. First, about the meanings, the second, about the behavior, the third, about the perception, and fourth, about the challenges of the Bantenese faith-based community in Banten regarding the halal on Taiwan food laws. The starting point of abductive research strategy is the social work of the social actors' investigation. The reality construction is conducted based on the case study. Then, for giving meaning to their social world, conceptualization is conducted. Abductive is a creative process that aims to produce a hypothesis and theory based on real evidence. This method emerged from social actors and their mindsets, which is scrutinized using the methodology of data analysis. In this case, I use thematic analysis. Formal methodological steps through qualitative enrich abductive analysis through a process of reviewing the familiarization and alternative casing. This study captures the insights of Bantenese on halal on Taiwan food laws, on social constructs.
Okay, let me just come in there,
Yes, bro.
ask you some exploratory questions. So why do you choose abductive research strategy?
I see in this topic,
Yeah.
I feel that how I came with the research question first about the meanings, about the behaviors, about the perceptions, and about the challenges, and one more thing about how the law of halalan already established in the community, or dig the meanings of all the answers from the respondents, or get the answers to fill the gap of the knowledge, which are the Taiwan things hasn't appeared in the literature. So I use abductive with respondents as the sources to describe based on their thoughts, their experiences, and their ideas about what is the halal on Taiwan is. So I use abductive to construct the meanings of or to dig to find the answer of my research questions based on their idea or based on the lay activities of the social actors. So
No,
theory
that's
is
actually
comes
important.
from the bottom up.
That's right. That's the the key, the essence of adaptive research strategy, right? So for those of you who are interested to really capture the meanings
Yeah.
from the point of view of the social
The
actors
social
themselves,
actors itself.
adaptive research strategy will be very suitable, right? Inductive will not be suitable because inductive is something that a research, a methodology that is from the researcher would be looking for those variables or those constructs from the point of view of the researcher, right? Whereas abductive research is about abducting the points of views and the insights and the meanings from the social actors, right? That's the important part. And since your research is about halal and toiban, this is another important insight that should be highlighted because usually the conventional view is more focusing on halal part, right?
Yes.
So you want to look at the toiban part, the toib part, right? So this is something that is more or less unexplored, right? So and adaptive research strategy is good to go into the psyche, go into the mindset of people to ask, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, what meanings you attach about to this thing, this construct, right? So adaptive research is very good at that. So if
And
you
the benefit for me,
Yes,
it's
go ahead.
come out from them.
It's
Not
come from
me.
there, yes.
I just have to scrutinize. I have to give make kind of note or resume
Yes,
what
yes.
their thoughts.
That's right. So the
Then-
burden of proof is not on you.
Not on me.
The burden of constructing the theory is not
Yes.
on you
Yeah,
specifically,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So the theory is come out from them.
That's right.
Actually,
That's right.
even though it's on material, raw material, I think.
That's right.
The idea is still raw material
Yes.
because perhaps in the literature it hasn't established yet.
No, yeah.
Then my job is to make the thoughts established in the knowledge.
That's right. Then you advance the knowledge, right? That's how we build theory using adaptive research strategy. So
Yes, we do.
oftentimes abductive research creates new theorizing or theory, right? Because it's original, right? And it's coming from the social actors, right? And the more you come up with something specific, the more original the theory is because it's very contextualized,
Yes.
right? So okay, that's the continue on
Yes.
your
One more
presentation.
thing, Prof.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have any theory in this research, in abductive research, I have to make kind of probing or sensitizing concepts. So the respondents can understand what I want to dig. That's the first step. So when we come to the respondents, they already acknowledge what I want to know about something that perhaps they want to explain to me. So that's why I use or conduct the probing or sensitizing.
That's a very important point. Also a very important differentiating feature or characteristic of adaptive research strategy, and that is adaptive research strategy doesn't start with a theory, right? Because you're not testing a theory like
No, it's not
deductive
testing
research,
any
right?
theory.
Deductive research strategy will be testing a theory.
Yes.
Adaptive research strategy is a qualitative method that doesn't start with theory, right? But then it will end with a theory, a framework, and an explanation, right? And you use an important term as well, and the term is probing concepts, right? Or sensitizing concepts, right? So you could still use constructs from theories or other people research or other terms, conceptual or technical terms, where you can interview people, you know, and see how they are connected to those ideas. How do they, what meanings do they attach to those ideas? So it's not that you're going completely with a blank mind,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So you do have ideas
I
about
have-
what toiban is.
Yeah, initial ideas, so
Yes,
they can
yes.
extend.
They can extend it, right? And in fact, there are ideas that they might have been taken for granted, right?
Yeah.
So and then you The job of researcher is to unearth, to dig, to bring out, right? To
The
adapt
new meanings,
the new meanings.
perception.
So they'll say, oh,
new
this is what I
explanation.
think about. I haven't thought about that. Okay, let me think about that. And that is abductive research, right? And phenomenology falls under abductive research, right? Because phenomenology is about, as describing the inner state, the inner essence.
Yes.
Right? So, I hope that captures a big part or the gist of abductive research, right? So it's about the social actors' point of views. It's about you start, like you said just now, right? You start from the social actors themselves.
Themselves.
Yeah. So the entry point, unlike inductive or deductive, right, is not. You do not go in. You go in. Let them define the world, right?
Yes.
So there's an important difference there, and then you do not use theory. Right? You lead to theory afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So okay, this is good. This is beautiful. You're sharing a lot here. Okay, continue, Raji. How was this?